Joining us now, former federal prosecutor Neama Rahmani, to talk more about this case. Good to have you with us. Do you think this goes all the way to trial? And I think you could probably even lump Comey's case into this.
Marnie, I do. And you heard a very defiant Letitia James. She's going to push this case all the way. Same with James Comey and, of course, John Bolton as well. So, I mean, they have so much at stake here. It's not just their freedom and potential prison time. They have their entire careers, their professional reputations. And let's be honest, the Northern District of Virginia is predominantly Democrat. That means the jurors there are going to be mostly Democrat as well. It's going to be hard to get 12 out of 12 jurors in a highly politicized case like this. I'm not saying there's not enough evidence to convict, but when you have politics, having this layer over a legal case, it does make it challenging for the government. And there's a reason that career prosecutors in the Eastern District of Virginia, Marnie, did not want to bring this case or the Comey case.
Talk about each specific charge. So we have bank fraud in the indictment, also making false claims to a financial institution. The prosecutors say they've got the evidence, a strong case. Each charge, what do we know about the details and the evidence and what each could carry as a consequence?
Well, the bank fraud is the most serious. It has a potential 30-year sentence in federal prison. No one gets anywhere near the max, of course. It really depends on the loss to the bank. Of course, James will argue, like President Donald Trump argued, that there was no loss to the bank because she's made her mortgage payments. And of course, the government will argue, no, it's not the loss to the bank. It's the benefit to her in terms of a lower interest rate or less collateral or less of a down payment because she told the bank, Letitia James, that it was a primary or secondary residence that she would be occupying and not a rental property. Anyone who has a mortgage knows that you pay more in terms of interest for a rental property. So going through the charge, though, Marnie, it has to be a false statement, right? So the defense will argue that it wasn't false at all. This was a second home and, a relative was living there but not paying rent. That false statement has to be material. That means it's important. I think the bank would say that it's important. And importantly, it has to be intentional. Marnie, this is one of those federal statutes that does have a willfulness component. So you have to actually know that you're engaged in a scheme to defraud.
Lastly, and I have about 30 seconds, the signal from James's team that they will challenge Lindsay Halligan, appointed to prosecute this case. They're saying she was unlawfully installed. Any merit to that?
I don't think that's going to have a good chance of success. Abby Lowell is making that same argument, a similar argument, a vindictive prosecution argument as well in the Bolton case. I think that probably has a little more chance of success. And look, I'm not saying Lindsay Halligan is qualified to handle this case, but even if she were disqualified, Marnie, as long as there's someone else in the office that can pick up the case isn't going to go away. Whereas a vindictive prosecution motion, if that's successful, that would get the entire case dismissed.
Neama Rahmani, thank you. Always a pleasure to talk to you, helping us understand this case and the next steps. Again, Letitia James has pled not guilty to the charges in the indictment filed on the 9th of bank fraud and making false statements to a financial institution. She said, I have no fear and I believe fully in the justice system. Nicole Burley will pick up our coverage on the other side of this commercial break.